I'm Alex, he's Jim, and this is the Charging Status EV podcast. How you doing, Jim?
I'm very well, Alex. We've got a special guest with us again.
We have an illustrious guest, as the phrase has been coined by yourself. So we've been joined today by Graeme Cobb. If you spend a lot of time on Twitter, or X as it's called, you're in EV circles on that platform, then you might be aware of Graeme and his quite insightful post about the EV market, what things are selling, Teslas and EV used deals as well. So how you doing, Graeme?
Yeah, good, thanks. Probably on there a bit too much, but yeah, apart from that, good.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
You're like the fifth Beatle for this podcast, I think. You've done more to promote this podcast than either myself or Alex, I think. So,
well, so long as you're not comparing me to Yoko Ono, I'll be all right with that.
We're not going to ask you to sing.
Because I will sing like Yoko Ono as well.
But your support of this show has been it's greatly appreciated, and thanks for sharing on all the different social media platforms.
And
it's been a pleasure. Yeah, been a pleasure.
Thanks very much. And Graham's actually flirting with his own content now as well, isn't he, Graeme? So here's your chance to put a plug out there. So.
Yeah, I think flirting is quite an optimistic word. I've done about 8, I think, and had a big gap over Christmas. So I think my YouTube channel is called Rev-EV or something on YouTube. Very hard to find. But I thought I'd give it a go just to do a brain dump, really, of stuff. So that's what that's about.
It's really good. I'm massively impressed, actually, because if I do a 5-minute talking head video, it's got about 185 cuts in and about 2,000 uses of yep, and then I have to go off on several thousand different tangents that don't make any sense to the actual thing I've started to talk about. But so yeah, I'm mightily impressed, and you should continue onward.
Oh, thank you very much. I shall try and keep it up this year and see where it takes me.
Cool.
Sounds good. I thought in this episode we could have a chat with Graeme a little bit about what he does and how he got into EVs potentially, but also, as it is the new year and it's the start of a sort of a brand new release of vehicles, we could have a look at what our favourite EV that was released in 2025 was, but also, and probably more excitingly, what new models are due to be released in 2026. Mm-hmm. Have a little chat about yourself. So what sort of thing got you into electric vehicles specifically? Because I think everyone's kind of entry into it is a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes
light bulbs. That's how I got into EVs. Light bulbs. Well, I should roll back a little bit. It was when we bought this house, and it needed a lot of work doing to it, and there were like chandeliers in every room with like 3 60-watt light bulbs on each. And they were just like everywhere, hall stairs, landing every single room. And I think because we moved in like November 2009, I think it was, our first electricity bill was something like $1,500.
Oh no! Wow, Jesus!
And Alex has seen my house. It's not I don't live in a palace. It's just a 3-bed semi, but that kind of got me into looking at how to save money on energy. And so then I started looking into these new funky LED light bulbs that came along, which were really expensive to start with. But gradually I just put them in throughout the whole house. I mean, the kitchen had like 20 50-watt halogen bulbs in it. So it's like a kilowatt of lighting in the kitchen. So yeah, we started. I think we started with half a kitchen because the light bulbs were so expensive back then. And then I did the other half of the kitchen, and it just like our bill just dropped overnight. And that got me into loads of other stuff around the home to try and save energy. And of course, the natural thing from that was I think in the feed-in tariff for solar panels was ending in like 2015. So we got in there before that ended. So I got the solar panels on the roof, and I was trying to find an episode of Red Dwarf on YouTube. And I stumbled across Robert Llewellyn on Fully Charged and talking about these EVs, and I was so like anti-EV at the time as well. It was extraordinary because I was a petrol head. And he just started talking about these EVs, and I thought, I like him, so I'm going to watch it because it might be funny. And then it just blew my mind. And I did a bit more research online and looked into it. And then a year later, I went and bought a BMW i3 as my first electric car. And so that was 2016. And that's kind of how I segued into EVs. And I did that because at the time, I think I was doing around about 20,000 miles a year. And I preferred a petrol car over a diesel, really because it didn't make my wife vomit, and which weirdly the diesel car I had before did. That lasted about.
I've never heard anything so romantic. I'm tearing up a bit over here.
Yeah. That was my excuse anyway. It just got better from there. Anyway, so yeah, I bought an EV back in 2016, and you didn't have like EV tariffs back then, so we just had the standard like OVO energy tariff, and it was like, I don't know, 15p a kilowatt hour, but it just cut my fuel bill by about 90% overnight, and that was like the big wake up call really, and that's how I got into EVs. And it's just been, happy days ever since. I did have a plug-in hybrid in between, but that was at a time when my father, who lived in Lichfield, north of Birmingham, fell ill, and my little i3 wouldn't get up there, on a charge quickly from work, and I work at Heathrow, so it's quite a trek. So when that went back, it was on a lease. So when that went back, I bought a plug-in hybrid. Because I was hoping the Model 3 would be out by then, and it wasn't quite ready in time. So that was 2018, I think it was. Yeah, I bought a plug-in hybrid for 3 years, and then got into the Tesla after that.
I must say it's a very impressive first EV though, an i3.
It was incredible.
I still think the i3 is a brilliant car.
Yeah, I've still got a real soft spot for the i3. I really have. There's some things that are a bit quirky. We did consider buying it for Nikki, my wife, but we just had all the work done on the house, and we just couldn't quite stretch to it. Otherwise, we would have probably bought that. Yeah, and
that was just the light bulb budget.
Yeah.
You're right. That car,
4,000 light bulbs.
That car came out in 2013, and it looks like it was released last year.
So I think it came out in 2013. Was it 22 kilowatt hour? And I bought the 33 kilowatt hour when it launched, and that was really efficient. Actually, I was getting like in the depths of winter, 120 miles of range from that. It was incredible, and then 170 miles of range in the summer months. And I spec'd it up with like the Pro navigation as well, so it had the big screen. It was such a nice car, but it had a few bits that annoyed us, like the rear doors, because we got dogs, and they sit on the back seat and get buckled in, and so it's like you have to open all the doors to get the dogs in the rear. That was annoying, and parents as well. They couldn't work that one out. And what was the other thing? There's only little like niggly little niggles that really kind of weren't a major issue, but were just slightly irritating. I think the other one was like that particular one, and it was before the i3S. It had really skinny wheels on it, and on the motorway I'd get blown about if a lorry went past or something, or a large van or something. I'd get blown about. That was it. I think they resolved that with the i3S with the bigger wheels on it, or the wider wheels. But yeah, it was a brilliant car. Really loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, great things. I've still got a hankering for one now. Hankering's a new word for the podcast. I think I used it 3 times in a recent episode, so I'm going to go with that. It's going to become a catchphrase. But yeah, I think like the i3S definitely still appeals. I love the fact that it's one of the quirkiest things you could possibly get, and it's from BMW.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was so far ahead of its time, like Alex said. It still looks fresh now. It's such a great car. It's a shame they didn't kind of do a Mark II of it and call it an I1 or something.
Yeah.
And because it is brilliant. It's a really, really good car. So I had a little frunk on it as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so we have a look at sort of our favourite EVs. I mean, me and Jim drive a lot of EVs every year, but so it's probably a little bit difficult to sort of gauge which ones are going to be the best ones, if you know what I mean. But what about you, Jim? What was I think what we'll probably look at is what they like to drive, but also I guess how they're sort of being received and the design, I guess, at the same time.
Maybe just how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
We might all have a different definition of what the best one is. I think the best all-round EV you can get at the moment is a Tesla Model 3, but my favourite EV from 2025 was the Hyundai Inster, which, and part of that will be, I think, possibly because I went to the launch event thinking, well, I don't particularly like the look of this that much, and I wasn't that interested in it. And I saw it in the flesh and thought, actually, that looks cool. It's different and weird and quirky. And it was just so much fun to drive. And all that quirkiness. I think because we do drive so many cars, it's so rare that something feels like night and day different to everything else you've been driving. But the actual driving experience as well, I mean, they had a brilliant route for us on that launch and time to do the route and still make a video, which is unbelievable on a launch event. And it was lots of twisty A roads and B roads, and it was glorious. I had as much fun in that Hyundai Inster as I would have in a BMW Z4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although I probably would have looked more like someone with a midlife crisis in the Z4 versus the Insta, where I probably looked like someone in their child's car. But it's honestly such a good thing. But it impressed me that much that I'd say that's probably my favourite.
I don't get to drive these cars, but I do go and see them at the car shows and stuff. And I sat in that Insta, and I was in the back of it, and I was just astonished by the legroom in there. It was enormous. Yeah, absolutely enormous. It's like it was like a 7 Series in the back. You could literally stretch your legs right out. So on a long journey, if you don't have like loads of baggage, that's going to be pretty comfortable to be in the back of that.
And the fact that you can pop that passenger seat completely flat, you could use it as a desk if need be. I mean, at the launch event, they had a surfboard in there going all the way through the car. So, yeah, it's quite a versatile thing. I think it's a nice platform as well, and I felt slightly disappointed that I know that one of them's slightly dressed up, but they could have done something akin to like the Ford Bronco, where you can get different flavours of it. So you can get your poodle around town version, you can get one that looks a bit more rugged, and then a sporty looking one. And I felt like it's the kind of car that's quirky enough to pull that off. But it's a brilliant thing.
Yeah, I agree. And the practicality of it as well. I think when I borrowed one, I took it to IKEA and put like a massive bookcase in the left-hand side, so you can just put massive stuff in that car. And also the dashboard has got a cutout, so you can store stuff in there too. So
the weirdest thing about it is the windscreen position, because the driving position almost feels like you're in a van.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're in an Insta, because there seems to be you seem to be a long way away from the windscreen. And even that I liked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
What about you, Alex? What's your favourite car of 2025?
It's probably, I think, a sensible car for 2025. Probably the Renault 5. I know on the podcast we've spoken a few times about you weren't overly impressed with how it drove, but I spent like a whole week with that car, did 1,000 miles, and just this combination of efficiency, range, design. I was blown away with how, and also the software. I don't know, software sounds boring in cars, but unfortunately, it makes up a massive part of whether or not a car is going to be a good thing to live with now. And yeah, just very good in terms of. I think new EV drivers will be very happy with that because of how easy it is to plan where you're going, and that is it's a massive part of any road trip now. And they have to download any third-party apps or something. They can just use Google Maps on it.
I'm sure I've said it before, but I've driven it for 10 minutes, and that's all. And from a design point of view, I think
It's
head and tail was like just the coolest looking thing.
It's amazing.
I'm disappointed that it's as cramped as it is in the back. For you, it probably feels cavernous.
It was huge.
Yeah. And it just, in the 10 minutes I drove it, I didn't get the same feeling I did with the Insta. But I drove it for 10 minutes. So
yeah, I could definitely see
it's
that.
unfair.
Yeah.
And I drove it on the Alpine course at Millbrook, so...
Yeah, it makes some cars... it's not the most ideal situation to gauge a car's true sort of... Yeah, it's very fun. And you can make yourself sick on that bit of road, but... not the most ideal place to sort of gauge what a car's like. But no, I was stunned with that, and the price point. It's all right having a car that looks like that, and it's like 35 grand. But the fact it starts at what is it, like 22 grand now? It's just outstanding. Yeah. What about you, Graeme?
Right.
Yeah, so I can't really pick because I've written 3 down, or possibly 4. So I've got to say the Tesla Model Y, because it's such a step change from the previous version to the new version.
That's a good point.
And it to me it looks so good, and I've been in Wheels, and it's a lovely car. He's got the standard range one, and it's just so quiet in there. It's so quiet and just so cavernous compared to my Model 3. I mean, I love how my Model 3 drives, don't get me wrong, but that's just it's an all-round winner, really. But for me, I think that what I was really looking forward to in 2025 was the Renault 5 and the Renault 4, but also the Alpine A290, which is the kind of sporty Renault 5.
Yeah.
And I think I first saw one at one of the Everything Electric shows before it was launched. And it was all locked up and you couldn't get in it, but I peered through the glass and everything. But oh god, it looks so good. And then someone at work bought one in that lovely blue, and it just stands out in the car park from anything else.
Nice.
It's such a great little car, that. And I think the EV world needs cars like this. It needs these kind of fun focused cars and
completely.
And the small hot hatches and the small hatchbacks and whatever. So I think Renault just absolutely hit the nail on the head lately.
And what a revelation EV has been for Renault, because they were a brand that had been producing some fairly average cars, and the design team seemed to have like a 2-decade holiday.
Yeah.
And they're now producing really interesting cars that are kind of pushing things forward a bit. And I don't think that would have happened had they not have had to look at EV and think, oh God, what do we do now? I think probably the status quo would have just led to kind of more Euro boxes. And
I think that, they made a brave step forward, didn't they, by launching the Megane as an electric car only? And that's a great car, really. But if you put a Renault 5 or an Alpine A290 next to the new Renault Clio with that slightly unusual looking front end, questionable looking front end. I mean, it's like the difference is night and day, isn't it? I don't understand how they get it so wrong with the petrol cars and they're getting it so right with the that for me, it's like the Renault 5 or the Alpine A290. That was what I was really looking forward to launching, and because we'd seen all the concepts of that, and no one knew what the Model Y was going to be like until it was actually revealed. So that was what I was most looking forward to in 2025.
The the Renault 4, I think, is a really interesting looking car as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not as obviously sexy as the Renault 5, but I think that's quite cool.
I think that was a cracking car. I sat in one at the Everything Electric show, and I was really impressed. And that had all the space in the back that you need, and it had a decent sized boot. And actually, in the metal, I think it looked a lot better than photographs do it justice for. So I think
100%.
Yeah, I think it looks much better up close, and I think it's a great looking car. And I think I'm hoping to see a lot of those on the road. I've seen a few already, so I'm hoping to see a lot more of those on the road, because I think that'd be a cracking car for most people.
I've always thought that, especially cars always look slightly strange in photographs, or there's something missing, especially interiors. Like a black interior can look exceptionally bland and exceptionally boring, but it's not until you sit in the car you're thinking, oh wow, actually this is quite nice. And I think sometimes people pull their immediate gut reaction on what a car looks like on social media and think
it's impossible to get that tactile thing as well. I mean, you could look at a photo of the inside of, I don't know, other Genesis, and it's not a bad looking interior, and then you get inside and you start touching and feeling and using the switches and things, and everything feels like deliberate, and you know, like some design has gone into it and some R&D's gone into it, rather than here's this switch from the Lucas parts bin, let's glue that to the dashboard, or remove it and put it on the screen. I think the touchy-feely bit is something not enough people do. I'm always amazed when I do my leasing videos how many people order a car without ever having, let alone drive one, but they haven't actually seen one in the flesh. I'll get like, oh, it's the first one I've ever seen and it's on my drive.
Oh, no.
I hope you like it.
Yeah, it's a bit risky,
sometimes on the car review videos as well. It's like, I've ordered it on the strength of this, and I haven't even seen one yet. I liked it. You might hate it.
Yeah.
Just there's one thing I don't like about some cars, and I think it was only when I sat in it that I just felt claustrophobic, and it's like a really high center console.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Some of them got space underneath, but some of them, like in the Polestar 2, is really.
So you don't like Polestar, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like that. I don't like feeling like cramped in the driver's seat. I just
see, and I do enjoy that. Yeah. Because I feel like a fighter pilot then, and I can go full Maverick. Talk to me, Goose.
That's where the similarities end.
I like that in the MG Cyberster as well. It's like sort of a wraparound feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just like cars, so don't listen to me. I like everything to a degree.
But yeah, nice. Well, good. And then looking forward to, the rest of this year, there's a whole lot of different models that are due to be released this year, including stuff from Alpine, as we mentioned. There's a massive waft of other vehicles. Have you guys got any specific EVs that you two are looking forward to that are going to be released this year?
This won't go out this week, will it?
It probably go out next week.
Okay, we need to make sure it goes out next week.
Yep.
Because on Friday I'm going to see the Kia EV2, the Kia EV3 GT, the Kia EV4 GT, and the Kia EV5 GT.
Wow.
But it's embargoed until 9:40 on Friday morning, I think.
Next week.
This week. Yeah, because it's at Brussels at the motor show, and they're unveiling them all. Well, those GT cars are all going to have the gear shifting thing, sort of a la Hyundai and
nice.
EV6 GT. And I think the EV3 and the EV5 will very much be like the family versions. But the EV4 from we haven't even seen any pictures or anything yet, but I think that's going to be the one where they're trying to make it a bit more aggressive looking and more driver focused, and they want that to be sort of the shining star of their sort of performance range. But this, by the way, comes off like, I don't know, week or 10 days since I filmed something saying performance EVs need to be better, like a bit more driver focused, and because I still think there's a massive part of the car buying public that are led by the petrol head in the office that he or we loves his cars, and they're just not turned on by them. And I think when more petrol heads start to get turned on by EVs, I think there'll just be so much more kind of widely accepted, and almost like the cool factor needs to come in a bit more rather than sort of a broader cool factor. I guess I'm trying to say really, really badly.
Yeah, I think you're right there, because I mean I grew up in the kind of, well, I was a bit older. I was in the 1980s, looking at all the hot hatches that I was going to buy when I passed my test in 1990. And my second car was actually a Fiesta XR2 Mark II.
Oh wow!
And I was 18, I think.
My brother had a pretend one.
Okay,
He had the I think the 1.1 Popular.
Yeah.
But it had an XR2 body kit on it. And,
yeah.
I think it's probably an XR2 badge from Halfords or something.
There was a few, really. Yeah, there was a few of those going around, actually. But they did look the part. But they had, like, at that time, they had, like, the Renault 5 Turbo, the XR2, the Nova SR and GTE. They had the Astra GTE.
Yeah.
And you know, it was kind of exciting, and like it seemed every manufacturer was bringing out hot hatches, like the Polo, was it the Polo G40 little supercharged thing?
Yeah.
And you know, they were really fun cars, really fun cars. And you know, when you got like a TV presenter like Vicky Butler Henderson squealing as she's lifting a rear corner going around a bend, and you were 17 and 18 years of age, you know, those are the sort of things that really kind of tug on the heartstrings, both the car and Vicky. She knew her audience.
I've met her several times now, Graeme, and I still can't put together anything like a coherent sentence in front of her.
I think I had her poster on my wall at one point when I was living with my parents. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I think those kind of cars really did inspire a lot of petrolheads that couldn't afford to buy the sports cars, and they could afford to buy an XR3R, an XR2, or a Peugeot 106 GTI or the 205 GTI, you know, and you know, and those kind of like hung around. They became sought after, and now, you know, they're kind of like treasured cars with like a massive asking price on them, and it inspired me to go and see like the World Rally Car when it was in the UK.
Yeah,
I go like yomping through a forest. Yeah, you know, in the snow, minus I don't know what the temperature was, to go and look at these cars like flying around the track and crashing out and stuff. But yeah, we need cars like that. We need convertibles. We need coupes. We need hot hatches. We need everything really in electric format to appeal to the broader spectrum of tastes.
Yeah, I think it's always such a tiny segment of the market that could influence so much of it.
Yeah, and you know, like back in those days as well, you had like the special divisions, didn't you, in these companies?
Yeah.
Like, right, make this handle well and go a bit quicker, and someone else make it look really sporty. And they're going. It's like Skunk Works or something. They go and work on these things, and produce these like amazing little cars really, and you kind of want some of that back. You want something where they've got a little Skunk Works division that's really focusing on one particular project like that. Take like the Renault 5 with the Alpine A290 and so on and so forth. It just needs that attention, I think. And you were saying, like with the Inster earlier, they needed to do different funky versions, and I think you're right. They're missing out there, because you could. And you said, Alex, that had a surfboard. Or Jim had a surfboard in the back of it, and they could have had like a surf edition, couldn't they?
Yeah, completely.
A beach going one, that was kind of funky looking. And that would have appealed to a few people as well that want that kind of like, was it like the Rover 25 streetcar or something? You remember those from
Streetwise?
Yeah, Streetwise, that was it. Yeah, those kind of things. Just enjoy the cars a bit more. I think that's what manufacturers need to do. Is just have little breakout groups and enjoy designing features on cars like that.
I just think we've been through this period where it's all been about, let's try and get a better range. Let's try and bring the price down. Let's do all this stuff. And we're now at the point where, for pretty much price parity, you can get when you don't read some of the daily press and you've actually got some experience with an EV, you can get an EV that will do 99% of your journeys with absolutely no drama whatsoever for kind of petrol car money.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, look, the sensible side of things will only continue to develop. We've got some of the new BMW stuff's going to have crazy range, solid state batteries around the corner, sodium, like you name it. Range seems to no longer be an issue. It's probably just the cost of it and and kind of bringing that down. Economies of scale and stuff will come into force, and that will all sort itself out. But for me, it's now like we've done all the grunt work. Now let's try and branch out. And I'm not saying every car needs to be some monstrous, but the one that annoyed me was the Nissan Ariya Nismo, because the Nismo badge, I grew up when that meant something, and it was kind of a special thing, and it was that little Skunk Works division, and they just put it on the standard car and made it a bit quicker.
I think it's like going back 20 years when BMW had the X5 and they decided to have like the M50D or something. And everyone was up in arms because it's an SUV. Well, how can you have an M division SUV? And I guess it's a little bit like that, and trading in on that kind of past heritage as well. I don't have a problem with that, to be honest, provided they make the cars really good. I mean, I've never driven an Ariya or a Ariya Nismo, so I can't really judge it on that. But I think it's almost like the start of perhaps what we've just been talking about, where hopefully they will bring out. I'd love to see a Micra Nismo, for example. I think that'd be a cool car.
That would. I mean, we've seen the GR Yaris, and it's incredible. I mean, if they did an electric version of that, something akin to it,
exactly.
It would be mind blowing. You can then enjoy the EV performance as well, which is something that will. I mean, people that have driven the Ioniq 5N in anger will know it's a very, very unique experience. And that is a car that can turn on a petrol head.
I just got visions of your review when you drive in there.
On the Alpine course at Millbrook, that one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Where Tom was ill.
You look like you're having fun. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun, but Tom didn't. No. I actually got an email from Hyundai the next day congratulating me for the illest passenger at Millbrook. I was quite proud of that, and we encountered quite a lot of traffic. I drove it again there this year, because the PR guy at Hyundai always reserves me a space because he knows that I'm gonna need to have it. So I'm always jonesing for another drive.
They put sick bags in there now, do they?
I did wonder why it was lined with polythene, but I thought they heard about my bedwetting.
You guys are on about hatchbacks
Oh, yeah.
or like cars with EVs with a bit more performance. Thankfully, in 2026 there are a handful of new ones coming. So I think you guys mentioned Peugeot, I think, and there is going to be a Peugeot E208 GTI,
Excellent.
which on design alone looks really, really cool. And then there will be the ID2 GTI, sorry, not ID2, the ID Polo GTI as well, which is going to have a very sensible amount of power. So thankfully, it does seem to be a bit more sort of personality coming back a bit in terms of not just SUV stuff. And
VW absolutely have to cherish that GTI badge. So that car needs to be unbelievable.
I think generally they do, don't they? They don't put it on anything lightly. I think they really do cherish that badge, and I expect checkered cloth seats and I don't know. They've got to try and figure out how to get a little golf ball knob in there somehow.
I think they are. The concept, I think the concept had that, or had some sort of mention of golf ball related things.
Cool.
So and the cassette player about here.
Yeah.
If it's got a cassette player, I'll be surprised.
Well, they are sort of
going
back and putting buttons back in. So you might be lucky, Jim.
Yeah.
And judging by
that could be mind blowing though, couldn't it? The Polo GTI.
Yeah.
And judging by what some of the people have said when they've driven the standard Polo with about 200 horsepower, everyone has said, the journalists who have driven it said it does handle exceptionally well. So it seems like the delays that they've had seem to have hopefully made some differences to the handling of that vehicle. It seems they're hopefully back at some point, which would be good.
I mean, I've got a soft spot for GTIs because I had a Golf GTI 16 valve many years ago. It broke down a lot, but I loved it. And it, and again, that's like heritage, isn't it? And I think there's something more to me. There's something more special about that than the R. I know the R is like an awesome car, but GTI is the one that I think feels like the most prestigious in my mind that you want to aim for.
I'm in the same camp as you there, Graeme. Yeah, very much so.
And also, the R badge has been put on SUVs, and it hasn't been put on GTI. Hasn't been put on anything other than hatches.
Yeah,
so.
And then you get the R line with the styling.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a GTI line, so I'm pleased about that.
Yeah. But yeah, what sort of cars are you guys looking forward to that are going to be released this year?
I think I'm looking forward to. I think 2026 is going to be the year of the small EVs. So because you've got like the Renault Twingo coming out, hopefully, and then the Nissan version of that. You know they used to make a little Pixo. I don't know whether it'd be called a Nissan Pixo EV or something different. And then you've got the VW ID Polo. So and that kind of adds to the kind of choice that came out this year with the Renault 5 and the Inster and probably a few others that I've forgotten. But I think this is what's needed really is small cars and more affordable cars as well, because there's a lot of people that just run about town in them or commute, and they don't really go any further than that. Don't really need a big car, and they just want to get something in, buzz around town, and it's really cheap to run. So those are the cars that I'm kind of looking forward to coming out, because I think this has been discussed for far too long, but nothing's really, it hasn't really come to fruition yet. So I think 2026 is like the year when that's coming to fruition. So that's quite exciting, I think, to look forward to those cars. And hopefully they won't, they'll be well priced as well. Yeah,
it makes sense, because even regardless of powertrain, bigger cars tend to have less character, and smaller cars there's always something unique with them. No matter really what they're powered by, they've always got something either charming or quirky, or there's a bit of character with them. So, and that, as Jim mentioned with the Insta and the Renault 5 and stuff, they've got a bit of character, which is good. So,
yeah.
What about you, Jim?
Well, I mean, I'm really interested to see these Kia GT cars and the aforementioned Polo GTI and any of the other new stuff we might see coming from VW. I also really want to have a drive in the new BMW iX3.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say the 6N then, but
oh, well, the 6N's are just a given. I mean, I don't want to bore everyone more than I already do. But that's an obvious one. But the iX3 looks amazing. Obviously, we saw it at the launch, and the interior I think so good. It's got loads of range, and it's that new class BMW thing which I'm really interested by. There's a weird thing with BMW, isn't there? Where when a new one comes out, I wouldn't say people necessarily always dislike it, but there's always a lot of grumbling.
yes,
And then over time, they seem to mature like a fine wine, and people sort of grow into them, but they're always quite jarring at first. And I think most people, have quite like the new class design, but obviously there are some purists that think it's all evil. But I'd be really interested to have a drive in that. And then I'm really interested to see some of the stuff that might come from China, having been over there a couple of months ago. I mean, some of the cars over there are absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I will be seeing Zeekr at Brussels this week, and I think they might be coming to the UK.
Wow.
Nice.
So hopefully I can get someone to tell me that while I'm there. But
that's been talked about for a very, very long time, isn't it? Whether Zeekr is going to arrive in the UK. I mean, I'm going back last decade, I think.
Yeah, but I think it might be.
That's interesting.
And yeah, just who knows what else might come. If iCar come here, I need to have one. I won't have the funds to get one, so I'll have to try and either steal one or ask them for a long termer. But I'm desperate for the iCar V23.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it's like it's a sub brand of Chery. It's their more off-roady sort of butch-looking electric vehicles.
Kind of a.
Looks like a Jeep, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, Suzuki Jimny cross with a Ford Bronco, maybe. It's got those kind of vibes.
Yeah.
In China, it's like £9,000.
Wow.
It's got a very cool interior, but yeah, in China it's like £9,000, and I worked out that I would guess if it comes to the UK it'll be about 30.
Yeah.
By the way, all these comparisons people always do with the Chinese prices, myself included, the cost for homologation to the UK is absolutely huge. And, a 5-star award somewhere like China is very different to a 5-star Euro NCAP. And we probably need to remember that.
Yeah. I'll link it in the show notes, but you did a video a few months ago about the dolphin surf or the seagull, and explaining how that possibly could work based on some maths. So
I was hoping to show to be honest, I started to make that video hoping to show that we were all being horrendously ripped off. And I came to the end of it thinking, nah, not really.
Not really, yeah.
Maybe there's a tiny bit of extra profit, but.
And I think when you add on the 10% import tariff and the 20% VAT, price is pretty much up there.
And like the logistics and
then shipping and
when you consider the supply chain network that needs to be set up enough to satisfy the insurers, that's got some cost. And then of course you need a £20 million glass mega showroom to put some people in some expensive suits in. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of cost involved. And
also sometimes they actually make a whole new version of that car. So the Dolphin is completely, well, not completely different, but it's a bigger car. The front end slightly different. They've had to re-engineer it for our market to meet safety standards, and then yeah, they'd have to have a separate production line for that. I don't know how that would work. And even with the Dolphin Surf, that car is quite different, really.
Mm.
It looks the same, but they've had to add a few safety equipment bits and pieces, change the design slightly. So sometimes, as you said, they're not. They've got different safety standards. They have to re-engineer it, really. So
I bet there'll be a long wheelbase version of that in China at some point, because there seems to be a long wheelbase version of everything, which would be quite hilarious. But yeah, so I mean, I dare say possibly this year or next, the most exciting car we see may come from China for the first time. And I know people have different thoughts on that, but I just think the more the merrier. Let's
fight it out.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, the car I'm looking forward to this year is a toss-up between the Polo, because I've got a soft spot for VW, and I'm glad they're sort of returning to form, hopefully. But also that Honda Super N, the little tiny K car that was shown off at Goodwood.
Yeah.
That is going to come to the UK. I have no idea how much it will cost, but that looks mega. Like, it looks really cool. So hopefully Honda can claw back their EV credentials, because they sort of dropped the ball a little bit with the SUV. I can't remember the name of it now. The NY1. So
colon N.
Yeah.
Y1. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a password. Yeah.
Yep.
Elon called one of his kids that, I think.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So as we've sort of debated between the three of us, it seems to be small cars are the hot topic for this year. So, which is good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think that's about it, really. Yeah.
What are we going to call this episode? I was thinking, we can't call it that, but I was thinking, right said Fred, meet Warwick Davis, but
Yoko Ono joins the podcast.
Yoko joins at last.
I don't know. What I usually do actually is I download the transcript and then run that transcript through ChatGPT and say, find something that's relevant for a podcast type that's 2 or 3 words long. It usually finds something stupid that you've said. So.
Oh yeah, they're usually quite good though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I assumed Josie was picking them because
No, she doesn't watch it.
she's funnier than you. So
No. I suppose that's about it, really, for this episode. Thank you so much, Graeme, for giving up your evening to come and record a silly podcast with us too.
Yeah, welcome.
If people would like to find out more about you and what you do and your brand new YouTube channel, where can people find you on the internet?
It's on X at, what am I on X? At Graeme_Cobb. And then on YouTube at REV dash. Right, what am I? I can't remember.
RS-EV, isn't it?
No. No, Rev EV. That was it.
Oh, there you go. If
put the
you can
links in the
find
show notes.
Graeme, go and
That's
check
how
out
it
his
is.
YouTube channel.
I will put the links in the show notes and on the YouTube description as well for that. So yeah, Graham's just started his own YouTube channel, sort of discussing certain topics in the EV industry in a very calm and level-headed way. So it's really quite good to watch. So keep it up.
Sometimes slightly drunk.
Oh well. And then what about you, Jim? Where can people find you on the internet?
You can go to my website, notaguru.co.uk, where you'll find some articles that are definitely not written by AI. And you can also go to my YouTube channel, definitely not a guru.
That one's not AI either, is it?
No, do you know, twice recently, I've been accused of being an AI, which I actually took as a compliment.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if an AI designs something like that, they come out.
They wouldn't make it look like me, would they?
No, not really.
I look like I've been on holiday to Chernobyl or something, you know.
Chris Carver or something, you know, Superman. Superman talks EV.
Yeah, well, I mean, if an actor were to play me in a film, for example, if they made a movie about my life, which I'm sure they will one day, I think Henry Cavill would be a good choice for someone to play me. I mean, the resemblance will be incredible, or The Rock, one or the other.
Maybe.
Mm.
And then Alex is mini-me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, Alex.
That's unkind, Graham. I can't believe you mentioned his height. That's below the belt. His very low belt, which you got from Mothercare. And Alex, where can people find you?
You can find my website at theinterface.uk for various bits and pieces like car news and other things like that. And then the main thing is the car review YouTube channel, which is The Interface Cars. And then you can find this podcast on all the usual platforms if you don't want to see our faces. But if you do for some reason, you can watch this podcast on YouTube too. I'll put all the links in the show notes as well. Yeah, thank you so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye-bye.